Yes, hello, I'm not dead, and today I decided I'm gonna make a new Astroneer series. The series will be focusing on heavy lore implications, like the ESS Triton and the lab records and analysis, some interesting new things introduced in the recent update for marbles, some things related to the Astroneers themselves, like the space station floating in the background over there, and things related to the unidentified satellite and all the gateway sort of stuff going on. Oh, and I almost forgot, stuff related to the Wanderer. So when you think about it, there's gonna be 5 episodes. Each episode, in fact, taking place on a different planet. Basically, I'm just gonna explain what's going on with that subject on a different planet. So the first episode for the ESS Triton lore, aka the snail lore, one for basically the purpose and story of each individual astroneer on their own, basically exodynamics and what they're doing in the solar system. One video for the mysterious gateway lore and all that kind of stuff, like teleporting between planets and the weird alien tech. One video for the Wanderer, and then one for the marbles. Yeah, one for the marbles, because we think they're space lore. Episode 1, the ESS Triton. The ESS Triton was essentially the spaceship, or the space station, that floated through space on its way to Lubos Prime, with passengers Dr. Iness Yoh, their assistant Now, or Neo, or however you want to pronounce it, and the rest of the crew, which they were on their way to Lubos Prime. Most of the lore is accessible in the control panel, which if we open up here, it'll give us the list of all the different catalogs that Dr. Iness Yoh had. Lab records and analysis, data log. This panel contains data and scientific analysis from the ESS Triton. So we're gonna go through all 4 of Dr. Iness Yoh's logs. My research continues en route to Lubos Prime. This is my first time working with the natal specimens before they've undergone environmental adaptation. All 7 glastropods remain in good health, nothing substantial to report. On a personal note, I question the value of our current mission. Extensive research has already been provided on Galastropod aptum, and I fail to see the added value that exposure to Lubos Prime will bring. Exo solutions for containment are questionable at best, turning a species with such invasive qualities into house pets. What? So I think what they're saying here is that the gastropods have already been researched a ton, and Dr. Iness Yoh is confused as to why they're researching more. I mean, you've already researched enough. Why do you need more information? And exodynamics is basically trying to turn invasive gastropods, or such an invasive species, I would assume it's like an invasive species. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But if a galastropod is an invasive species, that makes Dr. Iness Yoh wonder why exodynamics is trying to turn them into just mere house pets. Okay, let's finish up the first log. Additionally, crewman Neo, or Now, I pronounce it Neo, has taken to spending all his free hours in the nursery, interrupting my work. His insipid cooing and insistence on naming them is irritating. I dread the hours he's not on shift. Dr. Iness Yoh, personal file. Entry 2, progress. I wonder what that means. Despite my best efforts, Rogel continues to escape from his terrarium in favor of taking up space in my coat pocket. I fear I have spoiled him one too many times with our walks around the ship. Oh, so the ESS Triton was a ship. The little ones have taken over my lab. What? Increasing personal interaction has resulted in extremely positive results. Much as I hate to admit it, the snails do seem happier, and I find myself strangely energized once they've all been fed and sorted. I even caught Usagi singing this morning. How ironic, because Neo was actually originally, insisting on, being friendly with the gastropods, and now Dr. Iness Yoh has taken a liking to them. Wow! Neo will never let me live this down. I will have to settle our bet the next time he's free. His team has been extremely busy charting a course towards the anomaly our scanners picked up. I do hope he finds time to drop by the nursery soon. So it seems that Neo and his team have picked up an anomaly on the scanners. I wonder what it could be. That's pretty weird and strange. An anomaly, huh? Where have I heard that before? But that's for another episode. Entry 3, conclusions. I may have been a bit hasty in my initial assessments regarding the gastropods. I can understand why exodynamics sought to integrate them into society rather than exterminate them. The temporary physical improvements they provide to their caretaker is an objectively beneficial increase. So I think they were referencing basically the different benefits that the snails can give you when they're fed. For example, while carried in the backpack prevents all forms of damage. That's Princess. If you feed Princess, she'll basically prevent all damage you take except for suffocation, which can actually be fixed using the galastropod, what's it called? Stilgar, which produces infinite oxygen while fed. So yes, these are fairly positive benefits. I have yet to quantify the more permanent positive effects they've had on my productivity and mood. I must admit, I am glad for our temporary course diversion from Lubel's Prime. I find myself strangely excited and anxious to expose the little ones to that planet. It will inevitably change them. I can only hope for the better. Nea will no doubt laugh at me for this. Whatever he needs must be urgent. I can hear him calling me again. I am the only one left. I've sealed the nursery, but it won't be long before they find me. Neo called to me earlier, or whatever that thing pretending to be Neo did. There's no way off the ship for me, but I sent the command to jettison the nursery. All that's left is to push the button. If you're reading this, please take care of these little ones. I cannot save the Triton, but maybe I can save them. Essentially, this was sort of the end for Dr. Iness Yoh's story. Or as much as we know about it for now. Because this is where the ESS Triton was attacked. That part in the story. Whatever attacked them definitely brought the ship down and brought it through a portal, which then we were able to access by completing a mission and then unpack the xenobiology lab wreckage. I'm so happy that Dr. Iness Yoh made that sacrifice to jettison the snail nursery so that we could have friends. I mean, if you didn't have friends to play Astroneer with, we could have animals in the game. That was an amazing perk, I guess. Thank you, Dr. Iness Yoh. Guys, let's just really quickly take a moment to pay respects to the work that Dr. Iness Yoh and their assistant Now did. Because without them, we wouldn't have the snails right now. I mean, seriously, can you think of anything else that any other Astroneer scientist has done? Probably not. So, what attacked the ESS Triton? We don't exactly know right now. Hopefully, we'll get some closure on that in the future. But for now, we're just left on a cliffhanger. And to be honest, I don't think this will be the last we're hearing of Dr. Iness Yoh and their assistant Now, or Neo. Because they wouldn't develop such a character in such a good depth and all that, just to kill them off. I mean, that'd be completely absurd. That basically concludes this episode of Astroneer lore. To summarize, Dr. Iness Yoh was at first kind of cold-hearted with the snails, but then started to develop a good relationship with them as they were going towards that anomaly. And I assume that by the end, that anomaly is actually what attacked or what caused the giant attack on the ESS Triton. And let me show you something really quick. If you look right here, there are actually scratch marks on the side. Something must have been inside the ESS Triton that maybe came from the anomaly that Dr. Iness Yoh was talking about. I really hope you guys enjoyed that episode of Astroneer lore. This is only one of around, I think, 5 episodes, various episodes, explaining the lore in Astroneer. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, actually, leave a like down below. Yeah. Oh, by the way, subscribe. It's completely free. You can always unsubscribe later. I mean, I don't recommend it. That'd be bad for the channel. But your preference anyways. So, yes, I will see you in the next video. Good night.